The rule of 72. All right, the rule of 72. Bam. Now, what most of us don't understand is that we are investing our money regardless if we know it or not. So, this is you. And you get paid, let's say, $1,000. All right. Now, this $1,000 is going to go into the bank, okay? Because we don't know any better yet. We're just going to put it in the bank. Now, what we don't understand is that us putting this $1,000 into the bank is actually an investment. Why is putting our money into the bank an investment? Because this bank right here comes with something we call an APY, annual percentage yield. Okay? Well, I didn't spell that right. Yield. An annual percentage yield. I hope that's how you spell yield, but if it's not, annual percentage yield, all right? So, whether we realize it or not, when this $1,000 hits the bank, okay, when it hits the bank, we have invested our money. Now, we can calculate how much time it'll take for this $1,000 that's in the bank to become $2,000, okay? We can calculate it. Or we could say how long it'll take for your money to double, all right? So, if we put $1,000 into the bank has agreed with us, that they will give us an APY of 0.05%. Because it's a percentage, guys. When we invest in the bank, we are in agreement with the bank, whether we realize it or not. The bank is like, hey, since you're going to put your $1,000 in, we want to make sure you're getting compensated and you're being taken care of for taking care of us, because you're always putting money in the bank. Okay? And the bank is like, we're not just going to allow you to put money in the bank without us putting money back into your pocket. But the thing about it is, if we don't know how to calculate how much the bank is giving us for putting our money into the bank, then it's completely useless and we could be getting scammed, which most likely is happening because we understand the rule of 72. And the rule of 72 states this: 72 divided by the APY equals how long it'll take for your money to become more money. All right? This is the mathematical formula for how you can calculate where I put my money and how long it'll take for it to become more money, all right? So if I do 72 divided by the APY, the annual percentage yield, which is 0.05%, it'll take 1,440 years for your $1,000 to become $2,000. Now, let me ask you something. Are you going to be around for 1,440 years? The answer is no. So why are we investing so much money, or why is all of our money in the bank? Because we don't understand the rule of 72, an annual percentage yield. Anything that has to do with finance, like the bank or the stock market or CDs or what are some high yield savings accounts, is going to come with an annual percentage yield. If we use the annual percentage yield and the rule of 72, we can calculate how long it'll take this money to become more money, okay? Now, Since we know the bank's APY, which is 0.05, we will never ever see this $1,000 become more because the percentage is so low. And a lot of us are being fooled into thinking that our money that's going into the bank is an investment. It's not an investment, all right? It's not. And some of us don't even understand that we are investing into the bank because once again, the bank is going to give us a 0.05, but we need to understand that there are better investments. Like what? Well, let's look at the stock market because that's the one I'm most familiar with, okay? Let's look at the stock market. Let's say this is the stock market. Stock market. This is the stock market, all right? And the stock market is an investment, all right? This is an investment. And it's an agreement, all right? The stock market's annual percentage is 7% to 10%, okay? So if we put this $1,000 into the bank, or I mean into the stock market, I'm sorry, guys. If we put this $1,000 into the stock market and their annual percentage yield is 7 to 10%, how do we calculate how long this $1,000 is going to take to become more money? Well, we can use the rule of 72. And the rule of 72 states this: 72 divided by the APY, the annual percentage yield, and in this case, we're using the stock market, so the annual percentage yield is going to be 7 to 10%. So we're going to use 8%. So 72 divided by 8 equals, let me get my calculator because I'm not that, I ain't mathematically smart now, but that's why they make calculators. 72 divided by 8 equals 9, all right? So it'll take 9 years for your money to become more money. Now, tell me this, is 1,440 years better than 9 years? No, because our money is going to double in a shorter amount of time if we are able to put our money into the stock market instead of the bank. But we have to know to do this, guys. You have to understand you're going to invest your money whether you realize it or not. You putting your money into the bank is already an investment because they're going to give you an APY, an annual percentage yield of 0.05. Most banks' APY is 0.05. So if we put our money into the bank, we can't expect our money to double or to become more money, okay? We can only hope that in 1,440 years, someone can benefit from the little bit of money that it doubled, which is not too much because we only invested $1,000. But if we become smarter and we use the rule of 72, we can make better investments because the stock market isn't the only investment to make. You can buy CDs. You can use high yield savings accounts. You can use many different other investments other than the stock market. The stock market is just the one I'm most familiar with. Now, understanding the rule of 72 will give you a leverage over your decision-making process, okay? You don't want to put your money into something that's not going to give you a decent amount of return and something that's going to take thousands of years, guys. We have to understand the rule of 72, and the rule of 72 is simply this: 72 divided by the annual percentage yield will give you the number of years it'll take for your money to become more money. All right. This works for anything. All right. You just have to use 72 and find the annual percentage yield. Any investment is going to have an APY, guys. Look for the APY. Take 72 divided by the APY and get get the amount of years it's going to take for your money to double. All right. This is the rule of 72. I hope you guys understand, and I hope you're learning a lot from this course.